My people, what's going on, y'all? MindOfReese back. It's a basketball video, Mind the Basketball, man. See the Dallas Mavericks jersey on. I'm in my basketball mode. It's playoff time, man. Most wonderful time of the year. Y'all know what's up. So right now, all I'm going to do, you see it on the screen. We going to predict. Well, not we, me. You just want to listen to me do it. But you can join me, while I do it. We do it together. You feel me? Be a family. But we're going to predict the playoffs, man. Not just the first round. We're doing the first round, second round, conference finals for West and East. This video is just going to be the West. I'm going to separate the two, and you have to find the other video posted right after the two separate videos posted. It'll be the Eastern Conference. So what we're going to do is I'm not going just to not make the video long. I won't break down every single matchup. I will give a few details as to why I think this team is going to advance, some strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that. Just little small tidbit stuff, real quick to the point, and move on, unless it's a matchup where it deserves to be talked about much. But usually in the first round, it's not too many of those. But without further ado, let's get right to it, man. So first matchup we're going to do, I'm recording this at 2:54 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday morning. So we now have found out that the Memphis Grizzlies will be moving on into the playoffs after defeating the Golden State Warriors to play the Utah Jazz in the first round. So Utah is going to have to play a back-to-back. They have to play Saturday. Not Utah. Memphis is going to have to play a back-to-back after that grueling game. They got to play Utah on Saturday. As far as this series goes, I think Memphis could steal a game. I think they clearly fight hard. They play hard. Jonas Valanciunas is hooping. Ja is coming, bro. Ja wants to prove that he belongs in the league. He got his team. Well, we know he belongs in the league, but he belongs in the upper echelon. He's going to get there someday, but he's trying to show it now. Kind of like Derrick Rose saying, why not me? Why can't I be MVP? Why can't I be the best player in the league? You feel me? So I feel like Ja got that kind of mentality right now. This is not the year for them personally, but I think they could steal a game, maybe two. Who knows? They could push Utah in this series, but in the end, I got Utah advancing on to the next round. I'll say Utah in 5. So next we had the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks. I'm sorry about that first round. Memphis doesn't play on Saturday. They play on Sunday. But Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, I'm a huge Dallas Mavericks fan. I've been a Dallas Mavericks fan since 2003. Almost 20 years now. Die hard. Blue white runs through my veins. But when it comes to recording these videos and talking basketball, I am a fan of the game first, and I remain unbiased. So with that being said, I have the Clippers defeating us in 6. A lot of people think it may be a sweep of 5 games. I get why they would say that. The Clippers are much better this year than they were last year when we faced them in the first round. But we're much better as well. And we're healthier this year. Last year we didn't have Jalen Brunson. We didn't have Willie Cauley-Stein. We didn't have Dwight Powell. We have a few additions this year. Josh Richardson isn't, what we panned out to be. But late in the season with his role change, he has been playing a little better. But I don't expect him to make much of a big impact. But everything helps, especially against a team as talented as the Clippers, man. Rondo, Pat Bev, Nicholas Batum has really helped this team. Marcus Morris is hooping. Shout out to Terrence Mann. They got Boogie Cousins, who's been playing well for them. Serge Ibaka. Obviously, you got Kawhi. Big factors for both teams. On the Clippers, is PG going to show up in the playoffs? That's been the big thing that people been getting on him for. Great in the regular season, not showing up in the playoffs. So hopefully we don't, for the Clippers' sake, hopefully we don't see a repeat of last year. Also for the Mavericks, the key thing will be Kristaps Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis has struggled. What Kristaps Porzingis will we see in the playoffs? Will we see the Porzingis we've seen throughout the season? Will we see Porzingis in the bubble last year against the Clippers before he was ejected for the game and eventually got injured in that series? So all of those are X factors in this series, man. But I do have the Clippers defeating us in 6. So moving on to the next one, Denver and Portland, which is probably in the West my favorite matchup as far as to watch. This is a toss-up series. It can go either way, but I have Portland in 7. Denver is a very good team. They have the MVP Jokic. Um, Obviously, they're missing Jamal Murray, who is their second best player and secondary scorer on the team. I feel like the load well, not the load, but Michael Porter Jr. is going to have to step up big time and, fill those shoes, which I think he's capable of doing. Denver is a deep team. They can make up with the production. They can make up the production that Jamal Murray gave them, not with one player, but with multiple people because of how deep that team is. But Portland is hot, man. Portland is on a roll right now. Portland, Dame is on a mission. Portland's on a mission. They're clicking right now towards the end of the season, and that's really crucial heading into the playoffs. And I think that momentum is going to carry. The only thing in Portland way may be Terry Stotts. Who knows? But I think Portland can. I'm not sure if it'll be an upset. I guess considering it's a 6-3, but I think Portland can handle them in 7, maybe even 6. I feel like the firepower of Dame, CJ, Norman Powell's very good. Melo's been hooping this year as a 6-man. I feel like it might be too much for him. I could be wrong, but I got Portland taking this in 7 games, man. I want it to be 7 games, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's 6. So moving on to the bottom of the bracket, we got Phoenix and LA, man. LA defeated the Warriors in the play-in game to become the 7th seed, and Phoenix Suns have a great season and get rewarded with defending champs. So Phoenix and LA, man. I don't like how a lot of people are counting out Phoenix as if they don't stand a chance. I think they do stand a chance. And if Phoenix was to beat LA, it'll probably be an upset, but I wouldn't be shocked. I don't expect it to happen, but I wouldn't be shocked. I'm taking Lakers in 6 here. I feel like Phoenix can get 2 games. I feel like it's going to be a mix of close games and blowouts in this. I feel like the 2 games that Phoenix are going to get are going to be hard fought. The biggest thing here is, one, LeBron's health. In the Warriors game, he looked good. He looked like LeBron. But you never know. He's getting up there in age, and we haven't really seen him injured this much. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him in the playoffs. You would hate to see that. But in the instance that does happen, can AD step up and be that guy? I've always said I don't think AD is the number 1 guy on a championship team. Maybe he's learning that under LeBron, but I feel like AD is going to have to carry a lot of the load in the playoffs in order to not put that on LeBron and him aggravate himself or an injury. So AD, in the first half of that Warriors game, he went missing and came alive in the second half. But Phoenix is not a team you can do that against, and definitely not too many games. You can't let them get ahead like that, because I can't see them letting up off the pedal or letting the Lakers back into the game like the Warriors did. But I feel like LA can come in and take care of business and advance to the second round, unfortunately for Phoenix. So I have the Lakers in 6. So now we're in the semifinals. Since we're already at the bottom of the bracket, let's do that. Portland and LA, a rematch from the first round of last year. This is tough, man. This is tough. Like I said, Portland's on a mission and they hot right now. And I think they have more firepower than LA does, but LA also has LeBron and AD. And regardless of how much firepower you have, a duo like that is going to compete with anybody. They're the best in the league, and they were champions last year for a reason. I think this is where the road ends for Portland. Just can't count out LA, man. I think this would be a great matchup, but I got LA in 6. I think it's going to be a great series, a great matchup, but I can't see LeBron and AD. I don't see them going out. Not this early. It's tough. Like I said before, Terry Stotts can get his own way. It'll be a nice coaching battle, but I definitely take Frank Vogel over Terry Stotts in a coaching battle. I think most people would. Can't really see Portland defending AD in any manner. Nurkic is a great defender, but not against a guy like AD. Kind of similar to DeAndre Ayton, progressing very well defensively, but going up against a guy like AD, I think they're going to have a lot of issues. Not to talk too much about it, but I definitely have LA in 6. Wouldn't be surprised if Portland wins the series, but that's not my prediction. So back to the top of the bracket. We got Utah and the Los Angeles Clippers. I think this is going 7 games. I think a lot of people are underestimating Utah. They're a fantastic defensive team. They have 2 top 3 finalists for the 6th Man of the Year award, one of which is going to go to Jordan Clarkson, the actual award, Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and Rudy Gobert. Donovan Mitchell, as you know, the guy leading the offense. Excuse me, as far as scoring goes. But I don't think they're going to be able to beat the Clippers. The Clippers have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and if Paul George comes out and plays like Paul George, I feel like it might be too much for the Jazz. Even though, like I said, I see this going 7 games. But in a 7-game scenario, I'm going with the team who I know has someone who can take over, and that's Kawhi Leonard. Donovan Mitchell did it last year in the playoffs, but they ended up losing. Not his fault. I'm just saying I trust Kawhi Leonard more than I trust Donovan Mitchell. When it comes down to a game 7, it's between who wants it more, and if you can't determine that, it's between who has that guy that can get you to the finish line, that can carry you to the finish line, take this team and say, I'm not losing. And I trust Kawhi more in that situation than I trust Donovan Mitchell. So I'm going to go with the Clippers over the Jazz in 7. And now in the conference finals, we have the Battle of LA that we've been waiting for since last season that we didn't get because the Clippers blew a 3-1 lead. We have the Los Angeles Clippers and the Los Angeles Lakers. This is a toss-up if I've ever seen one. This can go either way, obviously. Personally, I'm going to take the Clippers in 7. I think this is a 7-game series. I think the Clippers are better than the Lakers. I think in a 7-game series, I'm definitely taking the Clippers. The Clippers are deeper. The Lakers have great role players on that team, but I feel like they depend on LeBron way too much. And if there's a time where LeBron isn't on the court, and those role players are, and they have to take over, or if AD's the guy on the court, I trust the Clippers role players and the Clippers bench more than I trust the Lakers. And that's just me personally. You may feel different, and that's fine. But I'm taking the Clippers in this, man. Like I said, I don't want to talk too much about these series. But I'm taking the Clippers in 7. And like I said, it can go either way. We can get to a game 7 and LeBron may take over, as we've seen him do so many times, and lead the Lakers to the finals again. But I'm taking the Clippers in this scenario, not to harp too much on it. But that's it for this video. Make sure you click to the next one. So you can see the bracket for the Eastern Conference. And then we're going to talk about the finals as well. So see you on the next one. Peace.